Alright, so I'm working on this project to try and craft my own rack. I don't really want to buy another one, and I would just slide my existing case into my rack, but it doesn't really fit and it's a bit of a pain. And I haven't really figured out a good way to DIY my own solution, but one popped into my head, so now I'm executing it. So this is sort of going to be a multi-sectional piece here. So firstly, my server rack came with a backing plate, right? It wasn't hinged from factory. I added my own solution, which is why it's implemented in such a rubbish way. And I had this piece of sheet steel left over, and I had to cut a small section off of it to do something else. But I had a huge piece left over, and now what I've decided to do is cut out a huge piece to use as a base. It's the exact dimensions as the base of my existing chassis. And then my idea was to use my resin 3D printer to 3D print these 4 posts, right? One's, I'm going to have the model up here. Each post is going to sort of mount to, or at least each ear is going to mount to one of the 4 pillars in the rack. And then it's got these it's going to have these 2 little pieces, and then the thing will slide in there. And then I'll drill a hole straight through, so hopefully it'll have 2 points of leverage. So if the one on the bottom, falls away, the one on the top will hopefully keep it hanging there, and I'll notice in enough time to swap it out. And then obviously I'm going to need to do the holes for the cage nuts and the cage bolts to go through. And then I'm going to score the outline of an ATX board onto that piece of sheet steel, drill holes in it, put the standoffs there, and I don't know, maybe I'll put either like a nut there with some maybe I'll put some glue on the nut. Maybe if I can find a drill bit small enough, I'll just try and use the motherboard standoff itself to tap the hole manually, because I don't have a tapping set, unfortunately. I don't have a lot of tools that I'm making do without. So hopefully in this one I'll be able to get the ears finished. And then shortly I'll be able to follow up with having the piece of sheet steel cut out and have the holes drilled there. Then yeah, I can convert my main PC back into, or at least into my server, so all my systems will be in my rack. And then I'm going to actually flip my desk. So instead of being on the left of me, how it kind of is now, it will be facing directly towards me, which is how it isn't now. And then this will effectively become my background. So I'm looking quite forward to it, because all of the cable mess will be nicely contained. I'm going to hopefully do a decent job of cable managing, and after I've done this is sort of a proof of concept into stepping into custom designing my own server hardware that I don't want to pay for. So if this works out, I hope to be following up with some more server stuff, and not just server stuff, but some custom networking stuff. I'm going to be hopefully DIYing my own custom local area networks. I'm going to have sort of a 2-tiered network system where one will be WAN, one will be LAN, because unfortunately I don't have a fancy switch and I don't have a managed one, but I do have some hardware laying around that I can use to make do without both of those things, which is going to be fun. And obviously I'm going to need to print some mounting hardware for both of those things. So there's going to be more 3D printed mounting hardware, there's going to be some more networking stuff, there's going to be some spatial rearrangement, so to speak. Okay, so I've got my ears. As you can see, there are a few complications. As you can see, these are not 4U ears. There are 2U ears because my printer does not have capacity for 4U ears. So these are for the front. As you can see, those corners will slide into the steel, and then these will sit at the front. You are the front, I am the back. And then these will sit in the rear pillars. As for the problems, as you can see, some bowing up here and some bowing up here, which wasn't great. This one actually broke a small while after printing, and I had to glue it back quickly and put a little red vise on it. As for the other issue, the steel does not fit in here, so I've got to take a drill bit because I don't have a Dremel, and go, remember earlier what I said about making do without tools that I don't have. other imperfections. There are some ripples on the faces again, but I printed it straight up, so these perfectly flat. So now, what I have to do is take a small drill bit and go all the way to the base of the this right angle here, make enough space for the steel to fit in. That's